This is really a letter to my son. Sorry. I was looking for a community who could help me as a single mom, protect him and love him and raise him. So South Bexley became our home. I actually felt safer in our house than I had any place else I'd ever lived. But I was wrong. That beautiful day, it was early spring. The sun was warm, the air was cool. I happened to stay home from work. I heard something. I ran to the living room and I thought it was the TV. I turned the TV down and I still heard this screaming. And I looked out the front window and I saw a police officer with his gun out and my son on the ground. I ran outside and was screaming, "We live here. This is our home. He lives here. What's going on?" The police officer said, "Stay back." And I thought my son had already been shot. I wasn't sure because he wasn't moving. At that time, I felt like life had literally just ended. I suddenly saw my son with his headphones in, turn his head so I knew he was okay. I continued to scream, "We live here." Within just a matter of minutes, we were sort of invaded by tons of police cars. I kept screaming, "What is going on and what's happening?" And no one would say anything. I remember they finally came up to me. They lifted my son up. They handcuffed him. They put him in the back of the car. And I was still screaming to find out what was happening and if he was okay. I remember them saying he fit the description. We got a call that there was a black or brown man carrying a gun in Bexley. You've all just seen my son. He was a young teenager, 17. I remember the police officer saying to me, "This is exactly how that kid in Cleveland was shot." And I remember saying, "His name is Tamir Rice." They kept my son in that cop car for what felt like an eternity. I remember the pain and anguish on your face. When they finally released you from that car, you were alive. The feeling of deep anger and deep relief. I knew I had to get us the hell out of that place. We left our home and we never returned to sleep there another night. We stayed in a hotel. Fortunately, I was able to sell my house. That some of that equity was able to pay for the month or so that we didn't stay here. I knew that we could not stay in a place where you could literally be murdered in our front yard. I frankly never wanted him to be in Bexley again. The trauma they caused him, the trauma this caused in our lives, and the trauma it continued to cause. This system in Bexley nearly turned him and his name and his story into another statistic. Thankfully, he survived. My hope is that all of you will do what you can to make Bexley the place it's supposed to be. Thank you.